With one simple change, this creator flipped a switch and saw a 63% increase in new viewers. They doubled the amount of views that they saw from their previous highest view record, and they earned the most money they've ever earned in 1 week since getting their channel monetized. But I'm not here to tell you that story today because the channel owner is actually here. Her name is Tori, and she's going to walk you through it.
I've been working so hard on growing my audience this year. I found my niche, I doubled down on packaging, and implemented a content strategy, but nothing was working. My views were kind of stuck between 1,200 and 4,000 views. My channel seemed to be stuck at just under 9,000 subscribers. I was uploading consistently every 1 to 2 weeks, staying very focused on video formats that I know my audience loves. I was seeing strong engagement and the channel was healthy, but growth was completely stalled.
So what actually changed? It simply was a change in how the videos were posted and when they were posted. The secret sauce that made all of this work was actually happening in the background, in the form of a content wall. What's a content wall, Dan? Well, that's also not something that I'm here to tell you about because it was popularized by fellow YouTuber Nate Black, who is also here to break down his strategies.
So let's break down what a content wall actually is. This is a test that I've conducted with several of my own clients, as well as many people who watched the original video in the comments said, I'm going to try this out, and we have the results now. So here's what a content wall is. It's first a strategic pause. And what we mean by a strategic pause is essentially 30 days or more of pause from publishing any videos. Next is we simultaneously release 3 long-form videos or 5 shorts if your channel is primarily a shorts channel. And when we say simultaneous, literally what we mean there is at the exact same time. It is literally, they are all scheduled for 7 a.m. or whenever you normally publish. So here is why it works so dang well on a system level on the YouTube platform. When you publish all of these pieces of content at once, they simultaneously have the same recency. So what that does is it allows the algorithm to say, all right, I've got these pieces of content to choose from. And then based on the audience reaction to one, because you have another piece of content, a cross-pollination effect occurs. What it will do is, let's say one stands out, and you can see on Tori's channel, one of the pieces of content actually started to spread more. And what it immediately did is it gave the algorithm the chance to say, all right, this one is doing well with an audience. I've got this other piece of content. I'm going to recommend it to that same audience. The same thing I saw on clients' channels when we tested this was the suggested traffic was insane. The likelihood of one video being suggested to the viewers of another video goes dramatically up. Another major benefit we're seeing from doing a content wall is it causes the algorithm to have multiple simultaneous tests of data because you've got multiple pieces of content that are equally old. You can see this from Tori's test that she did. You'll have a big spike, and that causes across the channel a lifting up of the viewership. Other huge benefit of this is if you ever feel like your channel is getting stagnant, I have rarely seen anything that works better than this for creating momentum after a period of a break. It's almost like a reset of your algorithm data. Now, there are some important guide rails that we need to talk about here. First of all, it does not seem to work very well on channels that have a lot of momentum occurring already. Almost like you shouldn't do it. It's almost like it can actually distract from what you're doing. It does work really well if your channel or your audience is feeling dormant, if your publishing is inconsistent, or if you're looking to pivot the primary topic or the direction of your channel. It works very well because it immediately gives a big burst of that same data that we've been talking about.
I started out with an intentional pause. No uploads, no shorts, and no community posts for 30 days. After the pause, I had 3 long-form videos go live at the same time on the same day, and they were all specifically designed to serve the same audience. These videos were intended to be representative of the content I planned to continue making on the channel. One video hit 7,600 views and has continued to grow to well over 8,000. My previous view ceiling was 4,000 views, so this was double my best views on the channel. Not only that, but the leading video in the content wall saw 63% new viewers, so I was able to reach an entirely entirely new audience. This resulted in 105 new subscribers in less than a week and my highest paying week on the platform ever. My content wall saw results just like Nate predicted. We had a hero video, video A, that carried the content wall, video B that did quite well and above channel average, and video C that, just like Nate predicted, was the runt video of this content wall. Video A saw breakout performance and brought in mostly new viewers, which was huge for discovery. 80% of the subscriber growth from this content wall came from video A, and it entered browse and suggested heavily. Video B still saw really solid performance. It was well above channel average and still converted new subscribers. And for our runt video, video C, this video saw really strong engagement from my existing community, but saw a pretty low click-through rate. And as a result, a very low new viewer percentage. The results from the content wall, specifically the new viewer percentages, raised a really big question for me. Is the content wall really a discovery accelerator? And if your channel's feeling stuck, the solution isn't always better content. Sometimes it's about giving YouTube better information. The content wall works because it speeds up algorithmic learning. It identifies a breakout video faster, creates initial suggested traffic loops, and expands reach beyond existing subscribers. YouTube identified video A as the strongest candidate for discovery and aggressively tested it. 63% new viewers meant that YouTube was testing this with an expanded audience. Over 100,000 impressions meant that this video had algorithm confidence. And over 105 new subscribers meant that this video created a successful conversion loop. Video B didn't explode, but it mattered. It validated audience alignment and supported suggested traffic loops, and it helped reinforce the channel's value proposition. Video C had good retention, strong engagement, but almost no reach. This video was less aligned with discovery and more aligned with community, and it showed in the video's performance. Now that you've seen how this strategy plays out in a real experiment, I wanted to talk through some of the core questions we see creators have when it comes to this strategy. So Nate, what do you think is the perfect time for a content wall on a creator's channel?
There's a few entry points. At its core, if someone wants to do a content wall, they can do a content wall. Places where I wouldn't recommend it is if they're having a good, consistent level of success with what they're doing right now, and they don't necessarily want to interrupt it. But in a lot of other cases, maybe they feel like they've been all over the place and they're looking to, all right, I'm going to pause for a moment and I'm going to set a new direction. If that happens, then I think it's the ideal time for a content wall.
What is the biggest mistake that you see creators make when it comes to executing a content wall?
Because of people saying, hey, I'm going to try this, I was able to go into their channels and look at what they actually did. The biggest mistake I see is taking it to the extreme, where we think, all right, if it works once, I'm just going to do it again and again and again and again. And I don't see that working. There's been some channels where they said, all right, I'm going to do it once. Hey, it sort of worked. Now I'm going to do it every week. I'm going to do 3 or 4 videos every single week. It's not working. So yeah, don't do that.
I can't even imagine trying to put out that many videos every week. If one video is breaking out, what do you recommend that creators do next to continue building on the success from the content wall?
So if one video does break out, there's almost always reasons for it. The content wall kind of helped, it boosted it. In the case on your channel where we did I was watching through your video, the Gilmore Girls one. I think that was the one that spiked the most, right?
Yep, that definitely carried the wall for me.
So in that case, I might be saying, well, maybe I should look at other shows from that era, like that my audience also likes, and maybe I should take that and turn it into a series. That's one of the main things that I'm seeing success with right now is you find the clues and you say, how can I turn this into a series, an ongoing thing? Each video, it's similar but new.
Absolutely. It's so important to learn from your successes and failures. And this was a big success for me. And that actually you almost already answered my last question. Is this like a one-time reset, or is this something you can repeat later, quarterly, if your channel kind of stalls out again, maybe a year from now?
I think the fundamental underlying question of that is, what would be best for the audience? The issue would come in if your audience doesn't get used to that behavior, or they get too used to it and they don't like it. Like if it's like I got a dearth, I got nothing for an entire month, and then I get 3 videos, and then I got nothing for an entire month, and I get 5 more shorts. Part of why it works so well is shaking up expectations, doing something new that they maybe haven't seen previously.
I actually did a community post the day before my content wall went live. It like really switched up what my audience was expecting from me and was kind of like a new and exciting way to connect with them.
I think maybe one of the most important aspects of it is turning it into an event. Hyping it up a bit, I've seen be very successful. I ran the test on my own channel, which I haven't talked about yet publicly, but I will be putting that in the advanced guide video.
I am very much looking forward to the advanced guide. I had so many follow-up questions, and this was just like such a monumental shift for my channel, and I had so much fun. This experiment wasn't about gaming the algorithm. It was about pushing YouTube to test the content faster and with a wider audience. Let us know in the comments below, would you try a content wall on your channel?